Hello and welcome to Trivia Quiz Rush. My name is Arno, I am your host, and this is the Do You Remember the 60s and 70s quiz. This quiz is filled with trivia, 50 questions, one open bonus question, so your maximum score is 51 points. Let's just start the quiz. Here we go. Good luck. What influential 1960s art movement was Andy Warhol part of? Is it pop art, abstract expressionism, or surrealism? And the answer is pop art. Warhol's works, including iconic images of Campbell's soup cans and Marilyn Monroe, defined the pop art movement. Question number 2. Which spy TV show, debuting in '66, featured self-destructing messages? Is it The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Get Smart, or Mission Impossible?
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
And the answer is Mission Impossible. The show, later adapted into films, was known for its secret agent missions. Question 3. What 1972 chess match was called the match of the century? Fischer vs. Spassky, Karpov vs. Kasparov, or Tal vs. Botvinnik? And the answer is Fischer vs. Spassky. Bobby Fischer defeated Boris Spassky, ending Soviet chess dominance. Question number 4. What was the name of the failed 1961 invasion intended to overthrow Castro in Cuba? Is it Operation Mongoose, Bay of Pigs, or Cuban Rebellion? And this one is Bay of Pigs. The invasion was a disaster for the United States, strengthening Castro's rule and worsening Cold War tensions. In '79, which nuclear power plant suffered a partial meltdown? Is it Chernobyl, Fukushima, or 3 Mile Island? And you're right if you guessed C. The 3 Mile Island accident was the worst nuclear disaster in US history. Question 6. What musician released the album Blow by Blow in '75? Glenn Hughes, Jeff Beck, or Steve Howe? And the answer is Jeff Beck. Question number 7. What was the highest grossing movie of the 1960s? The Sound of Music, 2001 Space Odyssey, or Dr. Zhivago? It's The Sound of Music, the '65 musical. The Sound of Music was a global phenomenon and remains one of the most successful films ever. Question 8. What 76 supersonic aircraft entered commercial service? Is it the Boeing 747 SP, the Tupolev Tu-144, or the Concorde? And the answer is the Concorde. The Concorde became the first commercial supersonic passenger jet, even to this day. What was the name of the first communication satellite launched in '62 that enabled live TV broadcasts between continents? Telstar 1, Sputnik 2, or Explorer 6? And the answer is A. It made history by transmitting the first live television images across the Atlantic Ocean. In '78, which country elected the first non-Italian pope in over 400 years? France, Poland, or Germany? And correct if you said Poland. Pope John Paul II from Poland became the first non-Italian pope since the 16th century. Question 11. Who performed Time of the Season in '68? The Kings, the Hollies, or the Zombies?
It's the time of the
And the answer is the zombies. Number 12. Which European country withdrew from NATO's military command structure in 1966? Is it United Kingdom, France, or West Germany? And the answer is France. Charles de Gaulle had a desire for greater national independence. In 76, which African country declared independence from Portugal? Angola, Mozambique, or Namibia? Correct with Angola. Angola gained independence after years of conflict with Portugal. Number 14. What was the first high-speed railway line launched in 64 in Japan? Eurostar, Shinkansen, or TGV? And this one is Shinkansen. Japan's Shinkansen, also called the bullet train, revolutionized rail travel with speeds with over 124 miles per hour or 200 kilometers per hour. Question 15. What 78 treaty led to the peace between Egypt and Israel? Oslo Accords, Camp David Accords, or Sinai Agreement? And correct if you said Camp David Accords. The Camp David Accords, brokered by the US, normalized relations between Egypt and Israel. Question 16. What global car brand launched the Corolla in 1966? Honda, Nissan, or Toyota? And the answer is Toyota. The Toyota Corolla became the world's most popular car, known for reliability and affordability. What disaster hit Tangshan, China in 76, killing over 24,000 people? An earthquake, a tsunami, or typhoon? And the answer is earthquake. The Tangshan earthquake was one of the deadliest in history, nearly leveling the city. Number 18. What British sci-fi TV series, first aired in 63, became one of the longest running shows in history? Thunderbirds, Doctor Who, or The Prisoner? And the answer is Doctor Who. Doctor Who introduced time-traveling adventures with the Doctor and the iconic TARDIS. In 76, who brought us the album Boogie Fever? Chic, ABBA, or The Silvers? And this one is The Silvers. The Silvers' Boogie Fever is a disco classic with infectious groove and catchy hooks. The 73 oil crisis was triggered by an embargo from which organization? Is it NATO, OPEC, or WTO? And the answer is OPEC. The OPEC oil embargo led to fuel shortages and economic turmoil in the West. Question 21. In 65, Singapore separated from which country to become an independent nation? Malaysia, Indonesia, or Thailand? And the answer is Malaysia. After tensions over political and economic differences, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia and became a sovereign state. 22. What 71 Pink Floyd album featured an iconic prism cover that you see here? The Wall, Metal, or The Dark Side of the Moon? And this one is, of course, The Dark Side of the Moon. The Dark Side of the Moon became one of the best-selling albums ever. Question 23. Which Asian country saw a major cultural revolution in 66? China, Vietnam, or North Korea? And correct with China. Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution led to massive social upheaval. What 1977 sci-fi TV show featured characters like Apollo, Starbuck and Cylons? Star Trek, Doctor Who or Battlestar Galactica? And the answer is Battlestar Galactica. The original Battlestar Galactica became a cult classic, inspiring later reboots. And which Beatles album includes the song Eleanor Rigby, Revolver, Rubber Soul or Help? Incorrect with Revolver. What event in 1969 marked the birth of the modern internet? Is it the ARPANET launch, World Wide Web creation or TCP/IP development? And the answer is ARPANET launch. The ARPANET was the first network to use packet switching leading to the internet. Now you know. What TV sitcom first airing in 1974 followed the Cunningham family? Is it the Brady Bunch, Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley? It's Happy Days. Happy Days made characters like Fonzie and Richie Cunningham household names. 28. What car became famous after the Italian Job from 1969? The Jaguar E-Type, the Aston Martin DB5 or the Mini Cooper? And this is of course the Mini Cooper. The Mini's chase scenes in the films made it an icon. Another movie question. What 70s boxing movie featured the theme song Gonna Fly Now? Raging Bull, Rocky or The Champ? And this one is Rocky. Rocky's training montage set to Gonna Fly Now became iconic. Number 30. Who wrote All Along the Watchtower, later famously covered by Jimi Hendrix? Is it Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan or Neil Young? And correct if you said Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan wrote this song in 1967 and Hendrix's electrifying cover turned it into a rock anthem. 31. Which African country gained independence from Belgium in 1960? Kenya, Democratic Republic of Congo or Ghana? And the answer is B. The Democratic Republic of Congo became independent but soon faced instability. 32. What famous guitarist founded the band Cream in the 60s? Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck? And this one is Eric Clapton. Cream, formed in 1966, was a pioneering supergroup featuring Clapton's legendary blues rock guitar skills. Which 75 movie featured the line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat"? Jaws, The Poseidon Adventure or The Deep? And this is of course Jaws. The classic line was improvised by actor Roy Schneider in Jaws. Question 34. Which 1962 film featured Peter O'Toole in a desert epic? Spartacus, Dr. Zhivago or Lawrence of Arabia? And this one is Lawrence of Arabia. The film, based on T.E. Lawrence, became a cinematic masterpiece. Which 1997 sci-fi horror movie featured the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream"? The Thing, Alien or Blade Runner? And correct if you said Alien. Ridley Scott's Alien introduced a terrifying xenomorph and became a genre-defining film. These are by far my favorite movies. Here's your chance to score an extra point with the open bonus question. On which album will you find the Pink Floyd song Money? Leave it in the comments together with your total score if you know the answer. In 1967, which supertanker caused one of the first major oil spills? Is it Torrey Canyon, Exxon Valdez, or Prestige? And the answer is Torrey Canyon. The Torrey Canyon disaster spilled 100,000 tons of crude oil off the UK coast. Which 70s sitcom introduced the phrase dynamite? Is it Happy Days, Sanford and Son, or Good Times? And it's Good Times. Jimmy Walker's catchphrase dynamite became a pop culture sensation. Which British rock band released My Generation in '65? The Kinks, The Who, or the Rolling Stones? Correct with The Who. The Who's My Generation became an anthem for youthful rebellion. What 73 horror movie was the first to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars? Is it The Omen, The Exorcist, or Halloween? And this one is The Exorcist. The Exorcist shocked audiences and remains one of the scariest films ever made. What 68 sci-fi film featured HAL 9000, an AI that turns against the crew? Planet of the Apes, 2001 Space Odyssey, or Solaris? And correct if you said B. Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece revolutionized sci-fi filmmaking. And which martial arts legend died in '73 at the age of 32? Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, or Chuck Norris? And this is of course Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's sudden death in '73 shocked fans and cemented his legacy as a martial arts icon. 42. What was the Beatles' first US #1 hit in '64? Is it Help, She Loves You, or I Want to Hold Your Hand? And the answer is C. The song launched Beatlemania in America. What 75 TV series followed a wealthy oil family in Texas? Dallas, Dynasty, or Falcon Crest? And correct with Dallas. Dallas became one of the most successful primetime soaps of all time. What was the first feature-length film starring the Beatles in '64? Yellow Submarine, A Hard Day's Night, or Help? And this one is A Hard Day's Night. The film captured Beatlemania and was praised for its innovative style. Which martial arts film featured Bruce Lee fighting in a mirrored room? Is it Enter the Dragon, Way of the Dragon, or The Big Boss? Correct if you said Enter the Dragon. The final fight in Enter the Dragon is one of the most famous in film history. And what was the first James Bond film to feature the villain Blofeld's face? Is it Dr. No, Thunderball, or You Only Live Twice? And the answer is You Only Live Twice. Blofeld, played by Donald Pleasence, was revealed in You Only Live Twice in '67. I recently made an awesome James Bond quiz. You should definitely watch it if you like movies. 47. Which '78 musical featured the song Summer Nights? Is it Hair, Grease, or Fame? And the answer is Grease. Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, became a massive hit. Number 48. What 1960s TV show featured an evil group named Trush? Is it The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Mission Impossible, or Get Smart? And it's The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This series was a major part of the 1960s spy craze. Almost there for this quiz. What 79 horror film featured the character Ellen Ripley? Alien, Blade Runner, or The Thing? And this one is Alien. Ridley Scott's Alien redefined sci-fi horror and introduced the xenomorph. And this one is an open question. Which famous artist painted Marilyn Diptych in 1962? Incorrect if you said Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol's Marilyn Diptych was a defining piece of the pop art movement. And that's it for this quiz, but don't leave just yet, because in a few seconds I will show you 2 other fun quizzes that are also about nostalgia, so you might like those one as well. In the meanwhile, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out. Also, leave your score and the answer to the bonus question in the comments down below. Now, here are the videos I promised, so click one of these if you want to keep quizzing, and I hope to see you in the next quiz. Bye bye.